Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. This is Tarot by Melissa, and in today's reading we're going to be getting into messages from your ancestors. So really excited to dig into this reading. I've never done this topic before on my channel, but I think it'll be really fun to see what messages your ancestors have for you. So getting into our disclaimers, keep in mind, guys, that this is a general reading. So some messages may resonate quite specifically with you. Others of the messages might not. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. Simply release it and let it go. Please don't allow it to get you upset. Remember, again, it's a general reading, so it cannot and will not resonate with every single person who views this video. Readings are for entertainment purposes only, so just have fun with it and, take it with a grain of salt, especially if it's getting you upset, okay? If you guys did want to book a personal reading, all the details on how you could book one with me will be linked in the description box down below. Personal readings are a great way to get a more specific read on your own personal energy and situation. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our pile selection. So we're going to have a selection between 3 different readings for today's video. For pile 1, we're working with this little spirit quartz crystal. For a pile number 2, we are going to be working with this little Firefly quartz. I think it's Firefly or Fire Quartz. And then for pile 3, we're going to be working with this garden quartz crystal. So I want you guys to take a deep breath. Think about what messages your ancestors have for you. Go ahead and select the crystal or the card that you feel the most intuitively connected to. And once you've made your choice, scroll down to the description box to locate the timestamps that will take you to your selected reading. See you guys there. Hey, pile number 1, and welcome to your reading. If you guys selected the spirit quartz crystal, this is going to be your messages, or these are going to be your messages from your ancestors. All right, so let's go ahead and see. From your archetype cards, we have the archetype of the womb coming up. Let's go ahead and grab one of these chakra oracle cards right away. Messages, please, from pile 1's ancestors. This could be like a maternal ancestor for some of you with the womb. Like, definitely there's mother energy that's being highlighted here. Messages for pile 1 from their ancestors, please. We have asking for what you need coming up here. So communicating is something your ancestors are wanting you to focus on right now. So womb energy is interesting, you guys, because womb energy is definitely mother energy. So there's definitely something about motherhood or mother, or just these energies of being nurturing and taking care of, whether it's taking care of yourself or taking care of others, or the way others took care of you in your family, in your lineage, whatever it is. There's something that your ancestors are wanting to highlight around this energy of the womb. The womb also talks about like the beginning, the origin story of something. And there's an origin story here for you guys around communication, asking for what you need, the throat chakra being highlighted. So for a lot of you guys, I feel there's something going on in your life where like communication maybe has been tough for you. And I feel like this has to do with this mother connection here. It could be that maybe you guys learned, like, I don't want to know what the right word is, but you learned whatever communication challenges that you have through your mother, right? Maybe you guys had a mother who was like really difficult to open up to, or maybe you had a mother who like kind of didn't understand you or shut you down when you tried to speak up. But there's something about the origin story that your ancestors are wanting you to highlight with regard to communicating and being confident in speaking up and asking for what you need. The womb talks about nurturance as well, taking care of something. And I feel like, I'm feeling anxious right now as I'm tapping into this energy. I feel like this group might have some challenges here around getting their own needs met, because maybe you guys are in this energy of always nurturing and caring for others, putting others before self, right? Which is not always a bad thing. But speaking up is really important right now. So let's just keep going. I want to see what else we get for pile 1. So what do their ancestors want to say to them? Let's get some context behind these cards. Oh, wow. We've got the Tower coming up here. And we have the Ace of Cups coming out. Okay. Yes, you guys, this is wild. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Two of Swords, right? The Two of Swords is this energy of being at a standstill, being in a stalemate, kind of ignoring something or acting like the problem does not exist. And I feel like what your ancestors are calling out right now is the Tower, right? Where you guys have been recently is that there's been some sort of massive shift in your life. You know, some of you guys, you might be going through a really major change, a really major upheaval of something in your life. This could be something physically that's been taken away from you in your life, something that's felt really chaotic. This can also be talking about your viewpoint on something being completely like shattered to the point where now you're seeing it from a totally new and different perspective, and it's jarring, right? Regardless, though, it's like you guys are kind of in this Two of Swords energy of ignoring it. And we have an eclipse here. I'm wondering for some of you guys if this change, because I think I'll be uploading this video in November. That's when I'm kind of tentatively scheduling it. You guys know I pre-record pretty far in advance, but I know that there's an eclipse coming in October, and it's coming up just as I'm recording this video. So I'm wondering if this Tower energy happened for you guys during the eclipse in October. Comment below and let me know. But there's massive change that I feel you are trying to stay neutral on, or you're not wanting to deal with. And your ancestors are wanting you to speak up and ask for what you need in terms of the support that you need to get through it. We have an Ace of Cups here as well. So there's a lot of emotion here. I feel also with all this blue energy, your ancestors are wanting you to convey the emotion that you have behind it. Because with the swords, see, we also have 5 of Wands, we have 9 of Cups. There's a lot of this like chaotic energy here. Ace of Cups, they want you to convey your emotions around something. And this might be new and different for a lot of you guys. With the Swords energy at the bottom of the deck, maybe a lot of you guys are more logical, more reasonable, and maybe you don't like to deal with emotions. Maybe it's challenging to speak how you really feel. And so with the Ace, this is talking about how it's new energy. But what I feel here is if you guys are able to work on your throat chakra and ask for what you need, communicating effectively in order to help, get the support you need through this Tower energy, I see an opportunity for emotional fulfillment coming for you. Okay, so it's like ignoring it is just keeping those things suppressed, and it's not really ultimately satisfying you. Let's continue. Messages from Pile 1's ancestors, please. This could, for some of you guys, also have to do with your love life in terms of like romantic partnerships too. With the Ace of Cups, maybe this is some dynamic that you have with a partner that needs to be addressed for some of you. Let's see. What do Pile 1's ancestors want to tell them? Surrender, pause, don't do anything, release expectations, pray, and meditate. That's kind of where you've been, right? Let's see what else. Sacral chakra. Creative pleasures and senses of comfort. Look at this, you guys. We have children here. There's it's like a theme of childhood or mother-child dynamics coming up. The innocence of a child is involved. This also encourages you to seek wisdom through a child's perspective. It's playtime. That's kind of interesting, right? So like incorporating more fun into your life is something that your ancestors are wanting you to do. Okay, what else are we getting? So this is really interesting coming up with a Tower, because I feel for this group, if you guys have been really struggling with this Tower energy, your ancestors are wanting you to kind of like not resist the change. And I do feel like you guys have been kind of doing that. Like with the Two of Swords, it's sort of just being in Switzerland. Like it's just kind of staying neutral about it. But there's still, it's like there's still a need here to kind of release expectations of something to look or be a certain way, right? When you finally step into this energy of handling the situation or communicating, like, I feel like that message is like communicate without expectation in a way, because this feels like it's something that's new and different for you around the tower energy that you're dealing with here, is to communicate. It feels like it's communicating with someone else for some reason, like a significant person in your life. But basically it's like they're asking you to surrender and just kind of flow with the change, which makes a lot of sense with the sacral as well, because I feel like this tower energy is actually, it's pushing you into this fulfilling energy for your emotions. The tower always comes up when we are in an energy that no longer serves us anymore. It's kind of like divine intervention from the universe, and it can definitely really shake us to our core, right? Because maybe we're not like expecting the change, maybe we're like planning for the change, right? It can take us off guard. It can be shocking, but there's definitely a need here for you guys to just kind of roll with it. Go with the flow. Don't resist it, and don't try to rebuild it in a way that looks a specific sort of way. Creative pleasure and sense of comfort coming up here. This also has some exercises on here as well. Some of you guys, maybe your ancestors are wanting you to get more active, especially with your lower body. Like your lower chakras are also being highlighted here in the womb energy. The root chakra, the sacral, the solar plexus. There could be some exercises that would be beneficial for this group to do as well. But this Ace of Cups with the sacral chakra is saying that like this thing that's going away in your life is welcoming in a time where you can be more, childlike, where you can feel like you're more authentic to yourself, where you can have more fun. You can indulge in your creativity a little bit more, right? Let's see what else. What else do Pile 1's ancestors want them to know? What else do their ancestors want them to know? Sensitivity. You are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. You see, don't suppress them. Don't ignore them and pretend like it's not happening. Like, they want you to communicate about how you're feeling and request support that you need. We also have breathe. Take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. So breathing exercises might be, might be really beneficial for this group at this time. Sorry, you guys, I have like a new recording set up because my other one broke, and this one I'm just like still getting used to. So my apologies for that. Some of you guys could maybe benefit from doing box breathing exercises or other types of breathing exercises. I would research that and find a technique that works for you, especially if you're feeling really anxious, because this is a sensitive time, and your ancestors do want you to honor your emotions and not feel like you have to suppress that stuff down. You guys deserve to be taken care of, right? Like, you don't always have to be the one that's taking care of others. Like, you also deserve to be taken care of in your time that's of need as well. You don't have to be everything to everybody. There's definitely something that they want you to explore as it pertains to your connection with the mother, with the womb, and the lineage there. We're going to get a few more cards. Okay, Pile 1. What other messages do they need to know about this? Messages from Pile 1's ancestors, please. See, it's something with relationships, I feel, for a lot of you guys with the Zeus card coming up, the lovers. This cosmic union is destined for greatness. There's something about like a masculine or a love interest, a partner, a romantic partner that is part of this shift that you guys are moving through. We have more throat chakra energy coming up. Expression. I express my intuition with self-confidence and love, you see. And we have more mother energy here, you guys. This is crazy. I birth fruitful and sacred assignments. So many just like synchronicities in your reading, Pile 1. Yeah, see, like in your partnerships, especially if it's a romantic partnership, like a spouse or someone that you've been in union with for a while, I feel like this is what the shift is. Whether you're seeing this person differently than you have in the past, or something has happened with this person, it's like, I don't know, like your ancestors are maybe calling out that you're not getting the support that you might need fully from them. There's a little, like, it's the root chakra being highlighted here as well. So that's like your stability, your support, your foundation. They might not know that you're struggling. You guys, everyone's situation is different, right? So like, I don't want to say everybody's person is doing them wrong because they might not know. You're supposed to be working right now on expressing yourself, communicating clearly with this person in order to advocate for yourself and be yourself and ensure that you're cared for, that your partner knows how to care for you, right? We also have music notes here. There could be something about music. Listening to music could be really helpful during this time. Some of you guys might be getting messages through music, I feel, for some. Let's just see. We're going to close it out with one more card. So for pile 1, what do their ancestors want them to know right now? Closing messages, please. We have the storm, and we also have turning inward flying out of the deck. And look at this, cardinal medicine. There's more couple energy coming up here, which is so interesting. And cardinals can also be like your ancestors coming to visit, in my experience. So we have the storm. As within, so without. There are storms a coming, a change without doubt. I mean, this is really just kind of confirming there's massive changes that you guys have been moving through right now. We have turning inward. Inside this veil of bone and flesh, I lay my soul to sleep. All the truths within thy breath have come to greet me. Let's see. Let's see. The storm is talking about gathered energy, challenges, and change. So the storm comes along when you're on the cusp of a significant spiritual shift. Change for you could manifest inwardly through the destruction of limiting beliefs rather than something external. You see, it's like the storm is coming through to cleanse something, right? It clears the energy. Even though it's really powerful and scary and it can feel like really chaotic, this is happening because the universe, spirit, your ancestors are trying to like push you to make some sort of really beneficial change, right? And with this turning inward, I do feel like a lot of the challenges here that you're facing have to do with fear of being yourself, fear of vocalizing your needs, fear of speaking up, right? So it's kind of interesting because earlier I was saying maybe your partner doesn't know. I feel like that's the case for a lot of you, where it's going to have to be a shift in your perception and the way that you're navigating and communicating. Turning inward talks about self-discovery and navigating inner landscape. So this is a time where your ancestors are really wanting you to understand you a lot better. And I think that you're going to be able to do that through examining this energy of the womb, like we said earlier. So really interesting energy, pile 1. Comment below. Let me know what you think of the reading and how you feel like it might resonate with your situation. If you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be updated when I post the next reading. And I'll see you then. Bye. Hey, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. If you guys selected this little Firefly quartz or fire quartz crystal, this will be your messages from your ancestors. So we start off your message here with the Cave archetype card. Let's go ahead and just immediately pull one of these. Messages from pile 2's ancestors, please. What do they want them to know? We have don't give up. Solar plexus. I'm going to pull some tarot cards just right away. Messages from pile 2's ancestors, please. Kind of feel like you guys have been like closing yourselves off or like retreating for a while. Let's see. 9 of Wands. Six of Pentacles. Okay. So, messages from your ancestors, pile number 2. I think your ancestors are definitely highlighting for you some sort of challenge that you guys have been facing, especially with the 9 of Wands, right? The 9 of Wands is saying that where you guys have currently been is kind of in a situation where you feel like it might be a little bit exhausting, right? It's like you're almost there. You can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's kind of taking up a lot of your mental and physical energy to be able to like continue to climb these metaphorical stairs. There have been obstacles that you guys have been facing, right? If we look at these stairs, it's like they're covered in branches and twigs, and it's like it's just not easy to get up to this moon, to get up to the finish line, right? And so when we have this 9 of Wands energy, we're already kind of in this place of feeling like physically and mentally just drained and exhausted. And it's really interesting that your chakra card that we got was the solar plexus, and it's literally saying don't give up. Because the solar plexus is all about kind of you guys being able to channel and tap into that life force energy, the energy of who you are to kind of push through. It's like your stamina, right? Your stamina that allows you to kind of push through to the end of this chapter. Okay. So you guys also have the cave archetype here, which is interesting because I do feel like there might be right now sort of this energy of wanting to just like go within or wanting to like hide, or maybe you guys have already kind of been in that energy of being in your like reclusive phase in life. For some of you, maybe you've been in hermit mode. But the cave also can talk about a sanctuary, right? It can also talk about being in a safe space that allows us to sort of get in touch with who we are on the inside without all the distractions that being out of the cave can bring, right? And so it's like there's this beautiful light that's on inside the cave, which I feel is symbolizing you, your life force energy, who you are, and how you're dealing with situations. So it's like I feel your ancestors during this time, it's like they're acknowledging the fact that you guys are moving through a challenging phase or a challenging situation. And at the same time, they're wanting you through this challenging situation to maybe do a little bit of shadow work, to really understand you a little bit better and why you might navigate a situation the way that you do. Not saying that it's right or wrong or good or bad, but like this challenge is definitely helping to illuminate. It's helping you to get to know yourself a little bit better, okay? We also have the 6 of Pentacles coming up here as well. So the 6 of Pentacles feels good to me when I see this here. It's like I feel like your ancestors want you to know that there is support all around you, that you don't necessarily have to go at this alone, okay? The 6 of Pentacles is about generosity as well, right? It's about giving. It's about charity. It is about resources and sometimes other people's resources. So I feel like your ancestors are wanting you to know that there is support. There are resources that are coming up for you in the future, as long as you can just continue, just don't give up, continue to push forward. I want to look before we get more cards. Let's look at this little chakra guidebook to see what it says. All right, I know sometimes it can feel like there's no way to overcome a problem you have, or that you've tried everything you can think of and nothing works. Those feelings can become overwhelming and make it tough to keep going. It can be difficult to try again when you fail at something, but when you do, you build up the resilience you need to keep moving towards your dreams. When you need extra strength, it's always okay to reach out to others for support. It's so funny because it literally just tied everything together that I just said. You also have here, I love this little guidebook. If you guys are curious, this is the deck. I got it ages ago off Etsy, but it gives you little ideas on how you can like strengthen your solar plexus. Ask your family and friends what helps them find the strength to keep going when they want to give up. Think about someone who inspires you to do your best and believes in you no matter what, right? Like there's a lot of great things you can do to kind of support your confidence to keep going during this time. Okay, let's continue. Oh my gosh, you guys, as I parted the deck, how wild is this reading? It literally says, these obstacles are only testing your strength. Take a step back and organize your approach. It'll be really funny if it comes out when I shuffle, but I had to show you guys that it poked out at me there. It's like your ancestors are overwhelmingly asking you not to give up, that you can keep doing this. You keep going. All right, what else for pile 2? Messages from their ancestors, please. Number 6, Venus harmonizes the give and take qualities of a relation. Kind of interesting because that's literally what the 6 of Pentacles can talk about as well, is like the give and take of a relationship or connections. It's also the give and take of effort, energy, etc. We have in and out. The situation is unstable. It may look, taste, and smell good, but you'll be waiting in line for a while. Okay. For some of you guys, I do think that this is about relationships here, because both of these cards are kind of making me feel like there's some sort of tie-in with a relationship, or just in general, your energy toward relationships here. Literally, your ancestors are calling out the give and take, the balance of give and take within relationships with others. And Venus energy is talking about your values, right? It talks about your values. It talks about how you like to be loved, how others like to be loved, right? It can talk about a lot of different things, but those are kind of the things that are immediately coming to mind here. So I think your ancestors are wanting you to think about this stuff right now, to reflect on this stuff right now. This is also telling me that whatever situation that you're in with this relationship or relationships, there's a lack of stability here. There's a tendency to kind of maybe fall into temptation of getting an immediate need filled instead of thinking about the bigger picture, what's going to be better for you in the long term, and that aligns with your long-term goals. And I'm wondering if that's where some of the challenges are coming up for you, is like, you know, with this card, we really have to keep our eye on the long-term goal, the long-term prize, in order to get the motivation to keep going, right? It's all too easy when you're in a tough space to kind of cave into, you know, something that's going to give that instant gratification, right? Because we just want that relief. But the instant gratification is not stable, is what your ancestors are calling out to you. They're wanting you to keep going, to think about like the long term of what's going to make you happy. I do feel it has to do with relationships. For some of you guys, it might not be relationships. Again, it's a general reading, so take it as it, you know, resonates for you. But there's something about the situation that your ancestors are saying is not necessarily stable. The other thing I'm getting for pile 2 is when it comes to like the generosity or charity or support, there also might be something about the support coming your way that's like temporary. Like it might not be like a sustainable thing for you. So keep that in mind as well. Like support may be coming, but it's not permanent necessarily. Okay. All right, so let's see. Pile 2. What else should pile 2 know from their ancestors? Clairaudience. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. Some of you guys may have clairaudient abilities. You know, meditation can be really helpful too, to kind of fine tune that stuff, to really make sure you're quieting the mind to hear it. I think that's also why we have the cave here, because your ancestors are wanting you to kind of like withdraw from distractions so that you can more clearly hear the guidance that is coming through for you. But I can tell you guys from experience, I've had all sorts of like random things come to me during meditation. When I just allowed my mind to relax, it's like the answer was there the whole time. I just had to eliminate the distractions. Okay, what else? We also have, okay, we have a few coming up here. We have clairsentience too. You guys, I feel, are like highly psychic. Clairsentience is like clair feeling. So notice your reoccurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. This could also, though, be, again, a reason why they want you to withdraw. Because if this has to do with other people, it's like your ancestors really just want you to like understand yourself right now, I feel, and how you are relating to other people, or it's like that shadow work capacity, shadow work that we were talking about earlier. So we have beloved one. I'm helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. Yes. I feel like this really is about relationships for a lot of you guys. We also have courage. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs, which really lines up with our don't give up and our 9 of Wands. So whatever you guys are doing, like whatever you're going through with relationships, oops, let me just move that out of the way so it doesn't fall. Whatever you're going through with relationships, it's being sorted out. I can tell you guys too with the 9 of Wands, like sometimes it's like, it's so exhausting because you feel like you've just tried and tried, right? And it's just not yielding the result you want. But a lot of times when this card comes up, it's like, we just have to do it one more time and we're going to be there. You know what I mean? So I feel like just one more time, your ancestors are wanting you to stand up for your beliefs, stand up for yourself. All right. What else for pile 2 from their ancestors? Ooh, the Star Daughters. I dance, sing, and play with my sisters at sunset. This could have to do with relatives, right? It may not necessarily have to do with a love, like a romantic love interest. I mean, these are sisters that are here. These are like sisters, cousins, maybe even friendships, a community of people in your life. And this is like very playful, kind of whimsical energy with all the bubbles and the butterflies. It's like, I think of like young children playing outside and just like having a good time. Imagination and all that kind of stuff. Let's get another one. Let's see. We have Electra, the Amber Star. Let go. I surrender and allow myself to grieve. Oh, wow. See, there's something about like a connection, or maybe it's like a group of people for some of you, a community for some of you, where it's like something is not stable. Like your ancestors are calling this out, that it's not stable. And this thing, whatever it is that's not stable, they're wanting you to let it go. And especially when it's saying, I allow myself to grieve, it's like, this might be feel like a really significant loss for you. Like a community of people that you've known and loved for a long time, and having to kind of let that go, or let go of what it used to be, that can be really, really challenging. But there's a need to like not resist the change, right? Like not resist the change of whatever it is that happened. Let's see. We have the Yule log. Storm here at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, they're definitely continuing to highlight the challenging energy and like acknowledge that for you. I'm going to pull up the Yule log in my little guidebook here because I'm not super familiar with this deck, but it's just so beautiful. I wanted to use it. Okay. Oh my gosh. This talks about letting go, creation, God and Goddess. All right. Yule logs are burned for 12 days and represent the rising sun and the birth of a new sun god. Yule logs are decorated with all kinds of Christmas cheer, and when it is lit, each member of your household gets to take a turn tossing in anything you'd like to release from the year. Each person gets to set an intention for what they hope to call into their lives. Yule logs represent the beautiful cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. When we clear out the old, we make space for all the beauty left to come. Some things must be cleared and destroyed so you have room to welcome in something new. Channel the energy of the goddess by healing and letting go of anything holding you back, and letting go of anything holding you back. Then channel the power of the god by invoking action, courage, and determination. Both energies, male and female, are required to be successful in your dreams, goals, and manifestations. What you wish for will take more than one approach. I mean, I feel like that just so beautifully summarizes your reading, pile 2. It's like your guidance right now is to let go of whatever it is that wasn't stable, that was no longer serving you. Release that part of it, but don't give up on trying to manifest and call in what it is that you truly desire for yourself. And I love the last sentence of the guidebook that it says, like, remember that what you wish for will take more than one approach. So you're being guided to try a different way. Don't give up, but try a different way. And that's what your ancestors want to say. So pile 2, this was really interesting. Please comment below. Let me know how you feel like this aligns with what's been going on with you and your situation. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be updated when I post the next reading. And I look forward to seeing you then. Bye. Hey, pile 3, if you guys picked out the Garden Quartz Tower, this will be your reading. So we're looking into messages from your ancestors. From the archetype deck, we start off here with the Mirror archetype. Let's go ahead and pull some other cards just right away. Messages from pile 3's ancestors, please. Have you guys been comparing yourselves to other people? I don't know. Comment below. Let me know. Let's see. Messages from pile 3's ancestors. Love yourself. Oh, wow. Let's pull some tarot cards. Messages from pile 3's ancestors, please. Ugh. Goodness. Emperor in reverse. Page of Wands. I feel like you guys have been recovering from some sort of disappointment recently with this 5 of Wands in reverse here at the bottom of the deck. There's been some sort of a situation here that has not really been the most fulfilling to you emotionally, yet I think you've kind of remained in it for a little while. We have a lot of heartbreak energy here as well, but it feels like things have been starting to kind of look up for you and get a little bit better. I feel like what your ancestors are calling out here is there's a lot of things I'm actually seeing. So let's kind of start off here with the Mirror energy, because the Mirror is a really, really interesting archetype to come up, because this is one of the, I mean, every archetype has light and shadow attributes to it, but I feel like especially with the Mirror, there are a lot of positive things that can come from the Mirror, and there are also a lot of negative things that come from it. So I want to actually pull from the guidebook, because the Mirror can talk about illusions, right? It can talk about things not seeing things clearly or projecting onto yourself things that aren't really true. When it is light, it's witnessing the deeper self and pure awareness. When dark, we have narcissism, comparison, and harsh edges. That's kind of what I was getting like initially, that maybe you guys have been comparing yourselves to other people, or maybe not feeling satisfied with where you're at with things. The energy of the mirror is all about self-perception, okay? So it is like a construct that you guys are creating for yourselves. And this can be like good or bad, depending on what you're saying to yourself when you look in the mirror. But the fact that we have the love yourself energy coming up is telling me that like there's a need here to work on your heart space and to work on your own self-love and self-concept and feeling like you just love and adore what you see in the mirror. Now, this doesn't even have to necessarily do with your physical appearance, pile 3. It can also just have to do with what is being mirrored back to you in your life in general, right? Do you love the life that you've created for yourself? Are you happy when you think about who you are and what you do every day and what you're capable of? Self-love and self-perception it's just your ancestors are really highlighting this for you. And for some reason with this Emperor in reverse, I feel like this group might have or have had maybe like a problematic relationship to the father. Like maybe some of you guys had a father who was like absent or who is absent, or a father that just wasn't really a stable, like safe space for you. Maybe a father who didn't really take care of you in the way that a father is supposed to do, right? Because the Emperor card in reverse is showing me a lack of structure. It's showing me a lack of structure and a lack of stability. And this Emperor in reverse can also talk about like someone who is overly controlling and oppressive too, right? So it's like the absence of, or like the extreme controlling sort of father energy that I see here. And I feel like this has directly impacted like your confidence in yourself and your love of self. And maybe this has given you guys like an inaccurate perception of who you are when you look into the quote unquote mirror. Now, if that doesn't feel like it resonates for you, I feel like this Emperor energy in reverse is simply just talking about the metaphorical structures in your life, right? Because the Emperor talks about structure. It talks about stability, right? So maybe there is something in your life that has been out of balance or out of control. This could also be talking about masculine energy in your life and the unhealthy side of the masculine. So it may not necessarily have to be literally father, but it could be like other types of masculine energies that you interact with in your life. I feel like your ancestors are wanting you to know that things are about to get really exciting for you with this Daughter of Wands. This is the Page of Wands. First of all, I think they're wanting you to have more fun in your life. I think they're wanting you to have some more fun and exciting times in your life. And they're wanting you to focus on just taking little steps, right? You don't have to go full force. But I think just kind of getting out and doing little fun things every once in a while that make you feel excited and that ignite your passion, maybe even that ignite your creativity. This is what your ancestors are wanting you to focus on. This almost looks to me like a magic wand, like from Harry Potter in a sense. So you guys are quite magical in the sense that you can create anything that you want to create for yourselves. Your ancestors want you to focus on starting to create the things in your life that make you feel ignited again. Let's see what else we get. So for pile 3, messages from their ancestors, please. What do they need to know? Ooh, the crown chakra. Meditation will bring you answers. Source channel, energetic antenna. Interesting. Let's see what else. Okay. We've got in and out. This situation is unstable. It may look, taste, and smell good, but you'll be waiting in line for a while. This came up in pile 2 as well. We also have at the bottom of the deck, dig deeper. Spirit is sending hints through abstract thoughts and actions. Ask questions within the question. I want to pull one more. Messages from pile 3's ancestors, please. What else do they need to know? You know, it kind of makes sense with the Emperor reverse that this card would be coming up, because this is definitely like echoing the fact that your ancestors are highlighting that a situation in your life is not stable. This, and I'll give you the same kind of spiel that I gave to pile number 2 about this card, but maybe this was pile 1 that got this card. I can't remember. Another pile got it, but In-N-Out, it's In-N-Out burger, right? It's fast food. So it's like there's something that your ancestors are highlighting for you about like engaging in unhealthy situations that bring instant gratification, okay? Instead of really thinking about the big picture and the long-term security and stability that you want, and the things that are going to make you feel more confident in yourself in the long term as well. You guys, with the Mirror card, especially if this has to do with relationships, I feel like there is a tendency for this group to like really project fantasy onto partners and sort of project the energy of what you want them to be versus what they actually are. Okay? There's a situation here that your ancestors are letting you know, like, this is not stable. And the reason that you're engaging in it has to do with self-love stuff here. Because with the crown chakra, you guys already kind of know intuitively that something feels a little bit off. You already know intuitively that something about it is not stable. And it even like looking at the Page of Wands a little bit differently than I had initially interpreted it, like the Page of Wands is impulsive, right? It's impulsive energy. It's scattered energy. It's like, let me just go connect with this thing because it's going to bring excitement into my life. But ultimately, it's not bringing me the fulfillment that I want, the stability that I need. We also have third party. There's something or someone else influencing the situation. Is it fair to all involved? Okay. Okay, so let's pull a few more oracle cards. So for pile 3, what else do their ancestors want them to know? I'm sorry, you guys, I have like a new recording set up because my little gooseneck just broke. That's what I use to prop my phone up. So I have like a new thing that's rigged up and it's just like really chaotic. So anyway, pile 3, messages from their ancestors. The third party is saying there's some sort of moral dilemma here that they're asking you to really consider, okay? Doesn't have to mean it's romantic third party, but third party means there's external factors at play that need to be considered. We've got teaching and learning. Keep an open mind and learn new ideas, then teach these ideas to others. Messages from pile 3's ancestors, please. Angel therapy. Give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. See, this card here, it's talking about nurturing your inner child. I really do feel there's some sort of connection to the father. It's interesting because pile 1 had more of like a reading that was connected to the mother, and for you guys, it's connected to the masculine, to the father energy. Your ancestors are asking you to really release things that you don't need to be worrying about right now, because I feel like you guys have like a lot to offer to other people. There's something that you're learning about right now, or something that some sort of knowledge or spiritual insights or something that you have that's really valuable that you need to be teaching and conveying to others, to the public, I'm hearing for some of you. Okay, so there's something really valuable and really like a superpower of yours that you have that your ancestors are asking you to focus on right now. And they're asking you to give up any other silly burden. Not to say they're silly, but what they're trying to say is that this is more important than some of this other stuff that's going on right now. And they're wanting you to release the things that you don't necessarily need to worry so much about, because you've got bigger, it just feels like you guys have a bigger mission to accomplish right now, is what I feel. Let's continue. For pile 3, messages from their ancestors. The Moonstone Star. I'm entering a portal of euphoric love. This is sacral energy as well. Kind of makes sense with the Page of Wands. Ooh, we also have the, yeah, see, your stability, your lower chakras are being highlighted here. The Ruby Star. I embody my authentic and sensual essence here. We have Electra, the shining star. I no longer dim my light. I shine bright for others to see. And look how she's looking in the freaking mirror, you guys. These synchronicities are crazy. So there's something like about the way that you guys are seeing yourselves where like maybe there's a fear of being seen because of your own self-worth stuff blocking you and getting in your way. There's a lot of different messages that are coming through for you, pile 3. Like some of it feels like it's related to love and some of it feels like it's related to like other stuff. I don't know. Hopefully it's making sense, but this is like your ancestors are asking you to like step into the light now. Get comfortable with being seen because you're going to be seen. Okay. So this really aligns with what I was getting from the Page of Wands earlier, right? This card is talking about passions, moving into the things that make you feel excited and ignited in your life. And I feel like this has to do with something that you are teaching or sharing out with other people. Something about this is also allowing you to become more stable and secure with your life and with yourself. And it's gonna push you to step into your authentic truth of who you are. Your ancestors want you to be yourself. You know, like it's like what I feel they're trying to say is that being yourself is going to create that stability for you that you're craving, whether it's stability in a romantic partner, stability with your life, stability with your work. There's something about you anchoring into your passions and using those passions to build your foundation, to support yourself. Okay. Pile 3. Let's get one more card, please. What else do they need to know from their ancestors? The darkest hour. There in the void of thy darkness swells the shadow of the soul, swallowing the wickedness into the blackness of its wholeness. Let's take a look at the guidebook for that one. Number 9. So closing out a cycle. Okay. Keywords: longest night, abyss, and void. Light and darkness go hand in hand, just as it's kind of like the mirror, you guys. Like there's good and bad to the mirror too. Just as the day turns into night, the soul must also go through periods of highs and lows. A low is called the dark night of the soul, a period where you feel lost, confused, and removed from your spirit, which kind of makes sense with this Emperor card in reverse. Everyone will experience a dark night of the soul at some point, and you will likely experience many over your lifetime. It is common for the darkest night to appear during times of extreme stress and disruption, which makes sense with all of your lower chakras being highlighted. And while this process isn't pleasant and you will undoubtedly lose something, things will be for the better when you emerge from the journey. The darkest hour has appeared because you are being asked to examine what is absolutely necessary for joy. Is it money? Is it love? Is it fame or respect? Imagine being free of it. The darkest hour reminds you that material things are not necessary for happiness, that happiness is something that is available to you with or without material success. You may feel as though you have to be where you are, but that isn't true. You are being guided to find true happiness within your spirit. Do not be afraid of change and do not be scared to let go. Doing so means you can see the light even when life feels hopeless. Self-focused happiness provides a guiding light when you are lost in the darkest hour. It will point the way home to help you recover. Beautiful message, pile 3. So, I think this is a time where your ancestors are asking you to find more joy in your life, right? And I think to reevaluate what really makes you happy. And like, it's interesting that this kind of talked about like this energy of feeling like you have to be in a certain place, because that's what I was initially getting with the mirror, is that maybe you guys are feeling like you're behind, or you're kind of comparing yourselves to other people because you're not where they are yet, or you're not where you think you should be in your head. But I feel like what your ancestors are trying to tell you is that you're exactly where you need to be, that you're on the right path. All right, so pile 3, this was a lot. Comment below. I know there was like a ton that was coming through that was kind of all over the place, but comment below. Let me know how you feel like this resonates with your situation. And if you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so you'll be notified when I post the next reading, and I'll see you then. Bye.